All right, now maybe they'll hear us in Skipland. We'll see what happens.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
OTR is sort of like Skip. There's like no fair warning that it's going to happen. Actually, there is. If you go to oldtuberadio.net, the Nixie tubes count it down on a 7-day item, and when you see everybody's at 0 on the Nixie tubes, you will probably know that the Old Tube Radio Network is ready to rock and roll and do what we do best, which is check in your tube radios, and we've been doing it almost 40 years. Thanks to you for sitting by at the Radio Shack and spending all that money and time to get the radios on the air, and we make sure that you get a chance to parade them on your radio, our radio, and here we are at oldtuberadio.net. There's a video going on, shortwave listeners coming in. We've got the E-skip conditions here on the West Coast, so if you're anywhere, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, check your radios tonight. Even the Squamish boys up in BC are listening and waiting for the signals to come through. Already talked to SWL 30 up in Idaho, so we're expecting a couple of radios from him tonight. Right now, let me pause and see if there's any. We have a few of them already. Any early check-ins? Over.
24 checking in.
Okay, 24 we've got. Over.
56.
Just for kicks, where it's cool out there. Got you, Phil.
Break OTR.
The break OTR, go ahead. Over.
Yeah, good evening, Dennis. 53 checking in. I hope I'm getting out there, break.
You are getting out, and you are getting down, and you got up, and all that good stuff. 53, the legend, is checked in. Over.
Yeah, boy, happy Father's Day, everybody on the net. 73 is back quiet.
Also, I got 61 Copenhagen. We've got 91 Mr. Felix checking in. SWL 69 on the video side. That, of course, is Kenny out in Tulsa, who's listening in and saying hello to all the gang out here. Let me get started. The 00, that's Robert and Teresa, seeing if they're listening in. I don't know what kind of weather we've got in Tennessee tonight. Hopefully it's good. I know it's been raining. It's been okay, so we'll make sure that they get checked in when they are around. SWL number 1, of course, with the Cosmic check-in. SWL number 2 is right here, right now, as Motormouth Mall would say. Head over to the video portion of this Old Tube Radio Network and make sure you give Mr. Oscar Bravo Papa, Mr. OBP, SWL number 2, a 9 pounds and a good modulation. SWL number 3. I think I've got a proxy in for 3. If you're playing the home game, we're on week 7, 14th day of June in 2025. Oh, in the waving a hand department, there are many. Here's Van Man. I didn't look if I see you on there. You might be out of Betry. I don't know. You always show up in a different. Well, that's why he's Van Man. He gets around. It's like that Beach Boys song. Let's go to SWL 5. That should be, of course, Mr. Rainmaker. He is there, saying hello, radio. I believe the guys are still over on Old Radio Night. I stopped in for a while. I didn't have enough time to get on the spinning wheel. Not sure who the big wheel winner was tonight. We'll find out when we head over to Old Radio Night. Let's go to SWL 7.
Well, good evening to one and all. This is SWL number 7, checking in.
And sounding good in my neighborhood, because you know what? I think you are in my neighborhood.
Pretty darn close.
Sounding good. Thanks for checking in. That's Mr. Ed, one of the people to sit in the air chair here on the net control side long ago and still sounding good here in the 21st century. Let's go over to SWL. What do we got? Number 9, Mr. Dirt Dog. That would be the 982.
How about it? It's a Dirt Dog 982.
Dirt Dog 982. You are sounding good at net control. We have got an X in the square for 982 Dirt Dog. Over.
All right, thanks, Dennis.
And thank you. Always sounding good in the OTR neighborhood. Thanks for checking in. SWL 10 and 30. I'll get them checked in, but I know Chrissy will be. There it is. OTR. Got an earful of radio up here this evening, but checking in 10. Yeah, we jumped in to an SDR up in Idaho where we could hear ourselves down here in the valley. Also, same way in Montana. And then, of course, Dwayne coming in on the radios. But I noticed the same thing. You can hear all sorts of Southern California, Northern California coming in on the SDR. So hopefully when the sun goes down, maybe we'll check in a couple of radios out your way. Got you checked in. Thanks. I mean, there's some eagles in there. Anytime I hear that ping, I got to stand by and see what's going on. SWL 11, of course, and SWL 12, indeed. Dan and Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan looking dapper. I feel dapper today. Saying my tie's not straight. Well, that I feel good. It's relatively cool for the middle of June in the low to mid 90s, which is kind of a treat here because it could be way, way hotter than that. So it's a good day in the OTR control. Dan and Dapper Dan, 11 and 12, we're getting you guys checked in. And someone did say Fresno. Over. The crossband is up. The Echo link is up. I'm not sure what kind of conditions we have when the temperatures are high, but I'm going to get SWL 13 checked in. I'm listening on the crossband if Mike can make it in. Sometimes I hear him, but he can't hear me, but we are listening. And heading back to Sangertown, we'll see if we can sneak through. Wait a minute, there is 13 coming in right now. All right, 10, 13, I heard you, no problem there, so we will get you checked in. Sounding good, KB6G update. All right, let me get back to Sangertown, SWL 14. Yeah, that station is doing a number here. SWL 14?
Yeah, SWL 14, checking in through the skiff, hopefully making a good trip, but it is loud out here in Sanger this evening.
It is. It just came back up, so we'll see what happens. And Tony, thanks. I think I just cleared the Echo link connection, so if you try again, you should be able to get in. For some reason, when I'm on the Echo test, it cuts everybody off, even though I have a conference on. All right, Sangertown sounding good, and we will be looking for some radios when things calm down a bit.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for the check-in.
All right, continue on. The guy's up in the balcony right now where, is it cooler up there? I don't know. Maybe it is. Usually that's the hot spot. That's where you want to be in the winter. Copenhagen, 17. I'm going to click on the link. I'm going to see what happens when I click on the SWL Copenhagen link. It gives me the map, but it doesn't give me anything else. It doesn't give me a weather report. It doesn't give me, let's see, what is it? The Meatpacking District, it tells me about that. Rosenberg Slot, Rundetarn, is that what that is? The Vesterbro Central, and a bunch of other things that this guy on the west coast of California can't pronounce. But anyway, 15, you are looking good, as always, and good early morning to you. SWL 16, Charlie is right over there. If you could see behind the camera, and everything is looking good. The water is here. They got the air conditioning going. The green room is up and running. There's people out in the pool. There's people at the popcorn machine. So I don't know what's going on. We'll find out when we talk to talk to Gary, see what's up. Let's go to, we're at 15 is in, 16 is in, SWL 17. Well, there's Van Man. Hello, Van Man, Eastern Kentucky. I didn't even think we had conditions. Van Man he's up on the interstate, circling, trying to get into OTR. Van Man, we got you checked in, over. I'm probably getting stepped on, but you all heard Van Man coming in, so let him know when he gets back on the chat that we heard him big time here in Central California. And there it is. Yeah, I don't know what you got, but you've got the mobile van working. Let's go to SWL 18. 18 gets a check-in from Facebook. SWL 19 with the cue cards. Yeah, I like that. He's got the nice big cardboard. He's doing a little fanning, moving the air about. So, yeah, if I don't need... I've got the numbers memorized for roll call. If you want to fan people with the cards, just wait till we get to the radios. That's when I need help. Chet out of Derby, New York, by way of somewhere else, I think. I can't remember. I think I'm supposed to proc this guy, and he might be listening on his two-way radio. I've got to go back to the network link here and see if I can find Mr. Harvey, SWL 20.
I ain't got no mother nature, but I am that man with a hammer in Pensacola, Florida, so I'm easy.
That's probably a proxy check-in, and I will do that. There's a couple stations listening in. He could be one of the unknown SWLs. we're going to jump over to Old Radio Night. I've got it here somewhere, and we'll see if we can't get JT to say hello radio to us tonight. I'm going to re-up the video page. We'll bring up the audio. Here comes the audio from Old Radio Night.
No, come on down. Check on in. 21, reading the mail.
I'm trying to see what channel they're on. He's running Skip tonight. He's busy. I don't think he's listening here to the Old Tube Radio Network. There's what they got, the Radio Shack. What is the radio
Channel
they got
22.
Tonight? They're on
Channel
22.
22, and they're reading the mail.
Reading the mail on 22. So anybody wants to jump out to 22 and let...
check in to old Tube Radio Network. Go ahead and check in.
All right, here we
Come
go.
on, hey,
21 on the big
in.
radio. Here we go.
Yeah, 75 up there. Hey, you did check in down in Fresno, California. Hey, 7521. We're getting on down.
All right, let's get 21 checked in now.
You got conditions.
Judge, I got no... There we go.
21, come on.
I've got to get some audio to this radio. Hold on a second. We got no 21 audio.
All right, man, have a good one around the apple trees. 21. We waving, we standing by.
All right, that should bring the audio in for 21 now.
And that's a bad news, Roger, and I'll see you. Bye-bye.
He's running the General Radio Telephone MC5 Vintage somewhere. All right, you guys sounded good. Now we got the audio fixed. That's 21 Live. They're over at Old Radio Night on YouTube. Check them out and let them know we heard them just fine. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dennis.
Move that house round towards you, like, wow. Hey, wow, dog, what you like here, Miller? Hey, wow, dog, Johnny, how I look, boy?
All right, I think we're back. Sometimes there is enough technical stuff going on that you really don't know where you're at. You don't know what radio you're on, what microphone is happening. And I think we are back here. Back in Fresno, the old Tube Radio Network, directed net roll call from SWL 22. I was dragging my feet a little bit because 22 is up in Anchorage, Alaska. You might be able to hearing us tonight. SWL 23, where is that Skidoo guy? Let's take an early check-in. SWL 76, Red Fox 1. I see you there. It's early for us, but not quite early for you guys out there in Johnson, Rhode Island. Anyway, 76, we got you checked in. And a host of many here in the Old Tube Radio Network. 24 checked in early. Thank you, Joseph. Let's go over to SWL 2525. Over. I think I got a note to get 25 proxied in, which I will do, along with 74. Turn to the page. SWL 27. Heading up the road a piece, were we to have the right conditions, I might hear this guy direct someday. SWL 28, up Highway 5 and 99, where the intersections meet. Hello to Ontario CB Radio Club. What is it? 9DCDX group. Scrolled off my screen before I could read it. Rhett on the road, typing from Louisville, UDX 483 Mud Bucket. Hello to you. Thanks for joining in. And what's happening with 28 tonight? He says he's checking in. He's having Father's Day ice cream sundaes in the green room. There is plenty. So all your fathers step up and want to be, would be, could be fathers as well. Thanks, Gary. This is a perfect evening for the ice cream. Got a proxy in for 29. SWL 30 will probably be checking in live when things calm down a little bit. SWL 31, Robert and Teresa also 00. We've got them checked in. I'm sure they will be jumping in soon.
KB6GFD, W6KEG.
All right, let's do this because I want to see if I'm actually making it on the FM because the AM's a little bit rough. Hello, radio.
Tried to listen. Boy, there's so much stuff I couldn't pick you out. So anyway, check me in, Dennis. I appreciate it, my friend.
I will do. You are sounding good on the FM, and yeah, I was bending an ear on the AM, but it gets rough. One of those stations come in and they do a number. You are sounding good. Thanks for joining us, KB6GFD.
6KEG.
I've got a sticking J38 key tonight. What's going on with that? Also checking some other numbers here. I think we're okay. We'll continue on. So 25 is in. We got up to 31. Oh, I wanted to say hello to SWL 46. Arlen, I saw you in there. Let me get you before you have to jump out. SWL 46 from Wisconsin. Might be hearing us live. You never know.
I love it, too. Take care.
SWL 32. And there they are from Tennessee, 0031. Teresa, Robert, I see you in there. You guys are checked in and checked in.
I know your number, 77793.
Also, Keith, I have not been radioactive on 40 meters. My antenna's kind of wonky. So maybe look for you guys out there. But from Rocky Mountain, Virginia, where you might be listening to us right now, here on some 11-meter long and short skip going on. Thanks for joining us.
Well, good time.
Catalyst UDX 122 saying hello, radio, looking good. SWL 32. SWL 33, myself and everybody else that's jumping around here that needs a check-in from the control point. Also, we'll get SWL 34, Jimmy Railroader, Captain Chaos, and he is probably sitting in front of Facebook page number 12 and making sure there's some good pictures on there. Not updating my stuff. Let me, speaking of update, let me see the comments and see what's going on in Cheyenne, Wyoming today. I don't see Mr. Bill in just yet. So we'll put 35 on a possible hold. Let's see. We got no. Let's go to SWL 37.
Yeah, proxy, Christian.
I'm just about to do that. So we'll proxy in 37. Thanks. Heading out to Byron, I was listening direct to a beacon on 10 meters that's up. It's near Tracy, but it was sort of on that Brentwood Byron 5 corridor, and I was hearing it direct on 10 meters, and I looked at the map, and Byron's just around the corner. There could be a little bit of a hill in the way. I don't think Diablo's in the way, but someday, Sam, we might be able to do a little bit of. I don't even think it would be ground. It would be some type of backscatter ground wave. We're getting it checked in.
Bye. All night all gone. I'll see you. Bye-bye.
SWL 39. SWL 40. And I will get 40 checked in because I know he's there. He might just be inches away from the radio microphonium, ready to key down. SWL 41 is right there. Road Dog 507 out in New York, of course, checking in. And also the Orange County React, Hudson Valley, New York. Wishing everyone a good evening and a happy Father's Day. Thank you, Road Dog. SWL 42. I believe I will get, unless I hear otherwise, I will get a proxy for 42 and the gang. Wow, I just heard one of the weird radar blips go by. So we have some wide open conditions. I will pull up the DX map. I didn't get him queued up earlier, but I'd be curious to see what's happening with the DX map. Let's go, let's jump ahead to SWL 147 while Neil is in and get the Kakalaki report. Good conditions on LSB with low power. The other day, I looked at the chart and it said everything was closed. But today, even with the SFI and the solar numbers kind of high and the A and K not where they should be, things seem to be okay. Southern states looking good. New England in the west. Summer is here in Carolina. Hot, humid, and thunderstorms. Happy days. Dr. Jazz 887. Neil, always good to have you. Jump back into Six Land when you can. Got you checked in. Sounds like we got another skip ready to roll in. It sort of dies out. We'll see where it comes in next time it shows up. We left off at 42, SWL 43. Shortwave listener 44.
Out here in Arizona, hola.
Now Arizona's coming in. Maybe we'll hear 99 tonight. SWL 45. We'll get Paul and Kelly checked in. I hope they're listening in. And they hear their favorite radios tonight. I think Paul has about 15 favorite radios. So shouldn't be a problem getting his favorite to check in tonight. SWL 46, Arlen checked in moments ago. SWL 47.
Good evening to all from the Radio Lounge, SWL 47.
And you are sounding good. The Radio Lounge is probably up and open for business tonight. It is a great night to be out in the lounge. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, sir.
And while he is there, SWL 78, doing his best. That's the first person I've seen actually type the way you might speak were you to be on your 11-meter radio. 78, 78, 78. as the needle skips. Well, maybe that's what it is. 78s, I don't know if they skipped. Yeah, they did. Actually, the toner would just sort of slide right across the shellac onto the label. 78 is there, and we've got you checked in. The skip is not super short, so I'm not sure we're going to hear Elsinore and Wildemar tonight, but you're looking good. Foxman 362 is taking a break from the videos. Been active all this week on, make sure you check out Foxman 362 on the YouTube. What was going on? Australia 5 nights ago in 12 minutes. Contact 9,700 miles on 37 LSBs. That's a shot for those guys. I think we got one bounce off the ocean to get here, but once it bounces off the ocean, it's got to come down on the sky a couple of times to get into Tennessee. Foxman looking good, enjoying the videos, and it sounds like the bands are behaving. Thanks for joining us tonight. Sam, Mr. KP is checked in from, I think it was Facebook, SWL48. Yeah, did you hear that? That is the radar sweep thing. That means this band, when you hear that, the band is wide open, about ready to do something. SWL 49.
Yeah.
SWL 37. How did this work? SWL 37.
Yes, SWL 37 checking in, Dennis. Good evening.
You know that you're a 40-year veteran when all you have to do is like mumble 1 second into the microphone and the whole the SWR thing switches to you.
Well, I guess I have been out there for a while, huh?
Well, I don't know. Not since, 1982?
Well, I think I got here, 85, maybe 86.
I remember it was like summer nights like this. It's super hot. It's 92 at 11:30, and we're talking to 37. We're talking to Chris out there in Kansas, so with no problem on the skip land.
Yeah, that's when I had the beam. Of course, I had the beam aiming out this way all the time.
Fun stuff. We're trying to keep it that way. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, you betcha, Dennis. Thank you for being there.
This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Real Radio's glowing in the dark. They'll be coming up shortly. Right now, the Directed Net Roll Call. You can catch us here on Channel 11, 27085 live on the live stream at oldtuberadio.net. Have your speakers ready, and there's a link to a video. There's a video going on. I don't know why, but it is. Back to the roll call, and we are looking for shortwave listener 5151.
SWL 51, checking in from Sanger, California.
305, somewhere near Sanger Town, sounding good. Good audio coming through, no problem, 100% copy.
Check, Dennis. Have a good evening.
So far, so good. I haven't managed to break anything. I still don't know how to run this equipment, but it's okay. Let's go to somewhere behind the golden microphone, SWL 52. SWL 53, Mr. Bel Air with an early check-in. I have to turn the page, but it was underneath a bunch of stuff. We've got a proxy in for SWL 54 up the hill to SWL 55. 55 is checking in, and I hear you just fine. No problem through the skip land. Just for kicks, we checked in 56 early over to SWL 57 out of there in central Kentucky. And I agree. Who said tape a nickel to the tune arm? You can do that on a 78. Don't do that on the 33. But that keeps it going. I don't think you could wear out the 78s. I'll pull out. Yeah, they said we got the 78 player. We'll pull out a 78 record coming up. Radio with picks. Yeah, I mean, OBP. Do not Do not add pictures to radio. It requires a lot more equipment, and things get very, very wacky. Matombele, it says, you've got us all fooled. Seems like you know what you're doing. It seems like he knows what he's talking about. Well, maybe, they threaten with AI around here. And then they think, no, they're just... the guy, he screws up enough. We don't need AI to doing that for you. So thanks. Thanks for the good review on that. Mike Monroe, 81. Watching from Pine Level, North Carolina. We got a lot of North Carolina stations. Might be jumping in from Old Radio Night, which I think is still going on. We checked in Mr. JT moments ago. Let's go back to the directed net roll call, looking for SWL 58. SWL 59, Uncle Hairball is probably going to jump out of the screen here somewhere. Maybe he's on the spinning wheel. I forgot to ask JT who was the big wheels winner tonight over at Old Radio Night. Let's go closer to home. SWL 60 over.
Thank you much, here, Dennis. Evening time to you and all the fellas out there on the band. Let's get that 650 checked in too. Dennis, this evening I'm gonna give myself a check in there on Jake's bass. This is a 291 bass.
291 bass, and I think it's noted here. Yeah, the 291, the DX2527 radio. Jake's bass. I remember him checking, and I wish we had some audio back in the day. He always had a good signal. Over.
Oh, I bet he did. I know when I got it from his mom after he passed there. Doggone it, this radio was in real nice condition and still is in pretty good shape. We take good care of it. Okay, Dennis, appreciate it. SWL 60, checking in.
Sounded good. There we go. Sounded good on the 291 bass. It's good to know it's still there, warming up, ready to go at a moment's notice. And still here on the Old Tube Radio Network. That is a station that checked in back in the other century many, many times. I have to find out what his number was. I don't know if it was 60 or not, but he's on the list. We'll find out. I want to say hello, Radio 2. Let me do a lock to talk. Do I have it somewhere here? We moved a bunch of stuff around on the desk, and I don't know what's here. I'm going to turn this over. I think this is an Old Radio Night. I got to be on. That's an Old Radio Night thing. Where's my double O's? Oh, here it is. It's underneath all the junk. But I want to do a quick shout out to, there it is, 27025 megahertz extremecb.com. Checking in. Hope you're having some good stuff going on. I don't know what I've got that. I've got this. I'm on that. That's keyed up. I've got like 6 different things I have to look at to see if I'm working. I guess I could just look at the meters. What's going on? He's going to eat some Rice Chex. Let's see. Snap, crackle, pop was Rice Krispies. So I don't know what noise Rice Chex make. Just make sure you unkey the mic when you do it.
If that Old Tube Radio Network's still out there, how about that Old Tube Radio Network, Unit 1, Southwest Washington State on the Tram D201, Antique Tube Radio, we're breaking.
All right, let's take a moment since our phone is ringing here on the Tram D201, the Old Tube Radio Network. Can you get us from Fresno on the Tram? Over.
That D201 sounding good in Fresno.
This is Unit 1, Southwest Washington State. We're looking to contact that Old Tube Radio Network. Tonight's transceiver is the Tram D201 Antique Tube Radio. Looking to make a contact with that Old Tube Radio Network.
Well, there you go. Old Tube Radio Network, Unit 1. Hello, Unit 1 from the Old Tube Radio Network. Over. I think he's got his receiver tuned to the wrong channel.
Yeah, I was going to say the transmitter's working better than the receiver.
How about that Old Tube Radio Network? How about the Old Tube Radio Network, Unit 1, Southwest Washington State? We're looking for a contact.
Southwest Washington State, beaconing in at 10 over 9. The Old Tube Radio Network, you're sounding good on the Tram D201, over.
Roger that. Yeah, we haven't been getting California conditions for quite a long time, so I haven't been able to participate in the show. Good to hear you're still out there, and I appreciate the comeback for sure. Unit 1, Southwest Washington State on the Antique Tram D201 radio. We're waving a hand and off the key.
All right, thank you, Unit 1, Southwest Washington. Sound good, sounding even better on the Tram D201. You are on the list. We'll put a picture up in a little bit. Thanks for listening in. And your audio is engraved on the water gate, the video gate here. Thanks for checking in, Unit 1, the Old Tube Radio Network. Over.
All righty. Thank you. And I appreciate everything you do to keep the show alive. I'm glad you're still out there, no doubt about it. It's been a couple of years since I've been able to make contact. Take care out there in California. Have yourself a good day. Southwest Washington State, mainland USA on the Tram D201, Antique Tube Radio. We're off the key.
Some nice audio. I like what Unit 1 is doing with the audio on the Tram. I don't have to put up the DX map because we know the band is open. Thanks for jumping in. We're doing the direct and net roll call. We'll open up for all tube radios, and maybe we'll see if we get some more, but he's on the list. We're back to looking for the shortwave listeners. We've got 61, 62. How about SWL 63?
There's a radio show that's broadcast down there in California. It's called the Old Tube Radio.
We're a show.
Frequency on Saturday evening. So, yeah, I just keyed up and wanted to see if they're still there, and they are. And they still sound great. Take care out there. I'm going to get off the key and let the radio show continue. Unit 1, Southwest Washington State. Off the key.
Almost like he's sitting a couple blocks away on the mobile, looking good. Frank Dancer 1, thanks for joining us. Catch us on the replay from Yellow Springs, Ohio. Also a check-in for SWL 64, Craig in Wisconsin. We've got you. A proxy check-in for SWL 61, Eric, and looking for SWL 66, over. SWL 67, Bill is in. He checked in from Canby, Oregon, which is a little farther south than the station we just heard up in Washington. But if there's conditions go short, we might be hearing Bill in tonight. But Bill 67, we got you in, over.
67 checking in.
Yeah, go ahead. 67, over.
Yeah, I'm coming in, but I'm in Fresno now.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that. Well, I saw the check, and you heard Washington coming in, so you never know. Maybe you could have checked in live and direct. You're sounding good, over.
Yeah, okay. I'm out.
All right, thanks for joining us. Always good to see you on the net, and good to hear you live and direct. It's been a while. 67 checked in. SWL 68, Michael, we've got an early check-in for 68 out of New York. 69, Kenny in Tulsa checked in early. How about SWL 70? Mark might have turned it off with all that skip. SWL 71, did I see Stan in there? I'm going to refresh the comments. He's checked in from last week. He'll probably be in a little bit later. All right. Who's listening in? Hello, Eugene, Oregon. I think you're a little bit close for the direct radio stuff, but we see you on the oldtuberadio.net. Over to SWL 72.
Kicking out some big-time whiskeys.
SWL 73. Got a proxy check-in for SWL 74, Miss Jilly. SWL 75. And I go back to the three-handed check-ins here. SWL 76, Red Fox one from Rhode Island. We got you in earlier. If you had to jump out of there, we've got you checked in.
Bad Company waving a hand out there from Washington State.
And hello to Bad Company, the Old Tube Radio Network. We're here in Central California, streaming right now at oldtuberadio.net. Videos going on. We're waiting for the Tube Radios. Had a couple already, but waiting for the Old Tube Radios to come on in after the net here. Let's go to SWL 77.
SWL 77 checking in. And that was a lot of fun catching Dwayne out there earlier. And hearing myself on that SDR out of Montana. But I got to say, that D201, man, that thing really sounded good. Thanks, Dennis, and everybody out there. I hope you're having a good, safe weekend, and happy Father's Day.
Around Oregon State, 534 right.
All right, well, they're coming in from Oregon. They're coming in from all over, and it's that like 6 meter skip where they're 20 over, and then they are gone. So, yeah, it's fun. It's a good thing. We'll see if we can't get some radios tonight. You are sounding good as always. Good to have you back in the air chair, and there's an X in the square. SWL 78 from Wild Wildemar. We put the nickel on the tone arm. It's still spinning around. Let's go to SWL 79. Yeah, Philip's probably shooting skip somewhere. We got Philip checked in. Let's go to SWL 80. SWL 81. And as usual, I'm not able to check in any Friday night in June because of our concert series going on. And I'm not sure if Mr. Bones has taken the night off. He probably had a big evening like we're having tonight. SWL 82.
Oh, 82 is checking in. We are out here. Just kind of got done with the UHF EHF contest. Gave some points out to John and Aaron. So anyway, that's what I've been doing just about all day. Got them on 3 bands. So anyway, that's about it. And hey, welcome to the OTR net here. Sounding good tonight, Dennis. And boy, so did the guy with the 201 Tramp. Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, he was 20 over at times and nice audio. So I forgot about the VHF contest. That's where we're not hearing Aaron tonight. And he was supposed to be up somewhere way far away. So what bands did you catch them on? Over?
2 meters, 70 centimeter, and the 1296. For some reason, with 10 watts, 1296, I worked him the best. I can hear him better on that band than any other one. And they are now up there by K6MIs. They're by his mountaintop. So anyway, that's what's going on over there. And Aaron played Rover, so he was out.
UDX 534, Oregon State.
The mountaintop this evening.
All right, sounding good from the mountaintop. Hello to Oregon State jumping in there. And, yeah, sometimes you get that ducting where the 1296 goes above the cloud and it just dumps right back down to the other station. So good. You got a great station. That's the voice of the Ditch Bank Sideband Net. That happens on Friday evenings here in the Central Valley of California at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on 36 Lower. Tune it in. He'll talk to you. There's a spot for visitors to check in and catch him on Friday nights. Catch us here on Saturday nights for the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks, Ron.
Hey, check, man. Hey, have a good rest of your evening as well. 7 good around Oregon. 7-3s. God bless. 534, Oregon State. I'll see you.
All right, catch you guys later, Dennis.
All right, I hope we grab some radios out of this. You never know. The Old Tube Radio Network, oldtuberadio.net, direct-to-net roll call. We'll be here to check in some of the classic tube radios from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. So stay tuned. We have our radio collectors standing by for that. SWL 83. Looking for Jay-Z. I don't see Jay-Z in there, but I didn't miss anybody. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight. Butterbean, SWL 63. There he is. Let me look above my shoulder there, and you will see the official check in the square for Northeast Or is it southeast? I have to look at my cheat sheet. What part of Georgia you're in? North Georgia. All right, good. Thank you, sir. Remembering that the old Tube Radio Network here on a Saturday evening. Good deal. Let's go over to, we'll get in 84, 86, 87, and 88. That's Cheerios Kid, Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. You can hear 84 on his old Tube Radio, his old Tube Swan on the noontime Jefferson Net, always sounding good on 7204. Over to SWL 89. And see, there's a lull as whatever that DX cloud is now switching to somewhere else. SWL 90. I've got a proxy in for 90. SWL 91. Felix had to check in early, and I did get him checked in, but we're going to put the number up again. SWL 92. Here's a guy who could probably talk to just about anywhere with that great audio. SWL 93. UDX 3030 out there in northern, Minnesota, somewhere out there. We've got all sorts of things going on tonight. Let's go to SWL 95. Over. Somebody wants a proxy, and don't we need to proxy Orlando, Florida? Warthog 95 is right there. Good evening. Thanks for checking in.
Oh, yeah.
And here's a station I have not heard in a while, but he is waving the proverbial citizen band radio hand. SWL 97. Jim, it is good to have you back on the roll call tonight. I don't know. Do they? I never hear Boston on my 11-meter radio. Do they have CBers there? Yeah, I know. Probably out in that Commons area. They all drive their Suburbans, their 50,000 watt Suburbans out to the Commons, and fire it up. Do the good thing. Anyway, good to hear you on tonight. Let's go to SWL 98. That's Tracy. Who was it? I forgot the name. Who was it that did the photos? And Ron, if you're listening, you had one and I had one, where the great little QSL card photos to promote the Ditch Banks net and the OTR net. And I'm blanking on the gentleman's name, but he did a great job. I fell off my air chair when I saw that. Central Valley Sea Beers on the Facebook is where you might see those things. Where is Radio Randy tonight? Arizona is coming through. He's got a giant beam up at about a 70-foot tower and about 4.5 watts DC input. I know he could make it. Okay, do we have... Yeah, okay, we've got Echo Link, so let me hold on. Let me fire up the Echo Link, and we'll see what Tony's up to tonight. And Peter, thanks. 428 Squamish, listen in. The skip is right like underneath your doorstep here from Central California. So you'll hear it. You'll probably hear San Diego, and you're probably hearing Sacramento. But if it breaks in, or if it breaks open, jump in between if you can and give us a shot. We'd love to check you in live and direct. Heading over to Echo Link here. Hold on. All right, trying the Echo Link. KD4BAO. Hello, Tony from KB6GFD. We're going to try the Echo Link, see if Tony is there. Getting ready to fire up the tubes.
Good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWL 100. Good to hear you. Back from net control, KD4BAO.
And it is good to be heard. You are sounding great. Tubes on the air is ready to go. Not a problem, because we've got a lot of tubes ready to go, some radios as well. Always appreciate your extra effort. 73, KB6GFD. All right, and while we are on the list here, let me go, because I jumped over him for some reason, but he is there. So let's go up to SWL 96. And I want to get 96 direct because I missed him on the roll call, and see if he is on the Echo link. He is not. Okay, let's try Keith. Let's say hello to Keith, KW4SR from KB6GFD. Take a transmission. We get Keith
Hello,
out
Dennis,
of
KW4SR. Yeah, it's been a while since I checked in, and I had some free time tonight. Thought I would say hello, and hope things are going well on the West Coast. Over.
Everything is looking good here. As you might have heard, we're having some of the short hop DX conditions. So my guess is there should be some 10-meter beacons going on, and maybe some 10-meter activity, maybe even some 6-meter activity. The VHF contest is going on, so it'll be a great time for that. Always good to hear you live and direct, and hoping to jump in on the group on 40 meters sometime. So thanks for joining us here tonight, and looking forward to that. 73, KB6GFD.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. I appreciate you letting me check in, and as always, doing a great job, and I'll be watching on YouTube. 73 KW4SR.
All right, we'll try. Let's try one more on the Echo link, because I do see Albert, and I think we missed you last week because we had some audio issues. So KI6CBA from KB6GFD, take a transmission out.
KD6.
All right, there it is. Al is we're sounding good tonight.
From KI6CBA, Albert. It's good to talk to you guys in the Old Tube Radio Network and the shortwave listeners. I really like it. My modulation meter is moving really well. And
you're moving the REA meter too.
I do is I look at schematics. It's 2 Old Tube Radio CD sets. Yeah, I just love the circuits and learning out how they mix those crystals to synthesize the different channels. I am so floored with the good technology.
It's addition, but it works.
In those old days. Anyway, so I'm wishing you all the best, and I'm looking forward to the radios that you show later on in the show. 74s. KI6CBA to K6GFD.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think they actually subtract the numbers, but it's all math, and it all comes out the right way. But yeah, when they have to do some multiplication there, or maybe it's just the good old back in the novice days, plug in the 7.045 crystal and go for it. You're looking good, sounding good. Thanks for joining us as always, and we'll look for you next week. 73 from KB6GFD. All right, we will go back to the directed net roll call. Looks good on Echo Link tonight. Let's try SWL 102. John, thanks for hanging on through the Echo Link tonight. And he is right there. Thank you, John. Let me put the 102 to make it official. That's just another hand I need. One of these times you're going to see Charlie is going to crawl under the desk, and you'll see this hand just come up and start clicking things. It's hard to say we don't pay enough for that. I know. We don't pay enough for anybody here. Let's go to SWL 103. That's Joey, Tango Romeo 21 X-Ray. Let me see. Oh, he checked in. He checked in early over at oldtuberadio.net. So Tony, if you're watching, or Joey, I'm sorry, Joey, if you're watching, there's the 103 check-in right there. Let's go up the hill. I don't know if I'm going to get clobbered with all the skip or not. To SWL 109, over. And 357, we might be out of RC Colas, but we've got some Bubble Up and some Nesbitt's orange soda. So grab one of those. It's just as good. Believe me. SWL 110. SWL 111. I'll have to check my replay. I bet Robert checked, and he might be involved in the VHF contest stuff going on tonight, but we'll get Robert out of Reedley checked in. Let's go to SWL 113. I never know if I'm keyed up or not. SWL 114. Hello, Wayne. Over.
114, checking in.
114, you're sounding good. I say through the skip, but I'm not hearing much skip right now, so you're sounding even better. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, luckily, Dennis, the skip died back now.
It'll be there, because I just heard one of those, I'll call them radar flashes going through. When the band is energized, when the ionosphere is energized, you start hearing those little strange things on 11 meters. So it's open. We're just waiting for somebody to jump in the pool here. Thanks.
Thank you for the check-in.
Fairfax, Virginia. Could be live, could be direct, could be already checked in on. I think John checked in last week. Let me refresh here. See if I'm missing John. No, he'll be in. Let's go to SWL 131. SWL 133. SWL 135.
Hello, SWL 135 checking in.
135 checking in, and still sounding good. It's ready to go. So keep those tubes warm. Over.
Groovy. Over.
And I can hear those. There's radar tubes going on. So I was wondering. Oh, let me bring up. Let me see if I can find it. There's 1DX map. So I'm gonna if you're watching the video, here we go. And I'll try and explain it what we're seeing if we don't. Let me go here. And there it is. All right. There's Canada. Nothing up Washington. That right now it's all Arizona. It's all the way through the Midwest states. We should be hearing. Let's see. That's got a lot of other things in there I don't need. So let's uncheck all. And it is the maximum usable frequency. So it's showing me a lot of things I don't need. But anyway, that's what's showing up. There we go. Even 20 meters. Let me put there it is. 28 bands. And it's moving around as we speak. Hawaii's in there. We've got Central America coming in. We've got Cuba coming in. So we'll see what happens. And right now it's pretty quiet. Let's go to SWL 137. You get back on the right screen here.
What about Northwest Oregon?
Northwest Oregon. Hello, radio from the Old Tube Radio Network in Central California. Over.
Waving a hand up here, listening in.
Good deal. We're streaming, as you know, at oldtuberadio.net. We are about ready to check in some of the great radio, so stay tuned for that. And if you've got a tube radio, put it on the desk, and we'll check it in here in a couple of minutes.
Oh, no, I'm not on a tuber. I got a tuber amp, but not a tuber radio. I'll let you guys go ahead and handle it. Have a good evening. Happy Father's Day.
All right, thank you, sir. Thanks for checking us out on 27085. You got a great signal here, so if you want to see the replay of your audio, it'll be at the oldtuberadio.net replay coming up. Join us anytime. Thanks.
Check.
Is Tony listening tonight? SWL 145. All right, 145 at Corsico. Tony, you are way, way down, but I hear you, but your signal is way, way down. But your audio is sounding good. That's what I'm hearing. So we got you checked in. Over. And the break OTR 61. They all thought you were Skipland earlier, but we know better. Take a transmission. Take a transmission, 61. Over. They did it. Yeah, they all thought you were Skipland, but we've got you checked in on the short skip out of Madeira. Over.
Thank you, sir. You have a good evening.
30 can check in. Go ahead, 30. Over. All right, well, keep it warmed up. Keep it warmed up because the radios are coming up. We've got you. Let me put the 30 on the screen so you know I heard you. I'm proving that I heard you. There it is, 30, and we'll get 10 in as well. We're about ready to fire up the radios here, so don't go away. Over. All right, and the Browning is sounding good. He's got a lot of radios. This could be good. SWL 147, Neil checked in early, and I did get him in. Where are we going? SWL 188. Hello, Bobby.
Good evening time, Dennis. 188 checking in.
Yeah, we got some funky time conditions tonight, I'll tell you.
Sure do.
Anyway, 188 sounding good, and we've got you checked in. Thanks for joining us.
Evening time to all.
Let's go up to course call 195 through the skip. Hello, Jim. Over. All right, and likewise, beaconing down to the flatlands here on the Starduster antenna. It looks like a little rocket ship sitting on the roof. Sounding good, and we've got you checked in. SWL 226. Now, here's a station I should hear live and direct. Are you up on the hill somewhere, Shockwave? Get you checked in anyway. Anybody else, then we're going to switch over to the tube radios and see if we can't get some stations from near and far out. OTR listening for any SWL check-ins. OTR listening for SWL 40.
Yes, SWL 40 with a sleepy time check-in.
You know, sometimes those naps are a good thing. Those little 90-minute naps, and get that extra sleep cycle that you missed. You're sounding good. Over.
All right, let the squealing begin.
This is the squealing frequency. All right, I'm going to jump out of the air chair and get ready for the tube radios. I want to say hello to who just joined us. Wildcat Bill, 957. In his probably driving in his Buick Wildcat mobile with the 455 under the hood. 957 checking in. We got you. Thanks for joining us. Rockwood, Tennessee. It's mostly cloudy, 71 degrees, and zero humidity, no precipitation, a little bit of wind. Perfect for yet another video. Yet another bounce to the Europe or to Australia, whatever. All right, out of the air chair, and I'll be right back. Hopefully we'll have skip number 2 coming in, or number 3 and number 4. We'll get some check-ins. If you got a radio locally, make it standby. We'll be back. All right, kind of back in the air chair here. I hope I'm back in the air chair. All right. Let's try the jingly singers, if I can get this down right. That'll be something like this.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Brought to you by your radio. Your old tube radio, well, we hope. There's been a couple out there already tonight checking in, and there is a couple of standing by. Let me go to the control room here just so you can see that we are back in the air chair in uniform. I had to run out to the ice cream thing and get a little bit of that. It is good. All right, listening for your tube radios, standing by. OTR.
20.
135, 135.
All right, I heard two. I heard 20 and 135. Was there any more? And we'll get you on the list.
14.
And 14. All right, I wasn't sure. The way Skip has been running tonight, I wanted to make sure if there's a skip in there, I'll take them before they fade out. Speaking of fading out or fading in, let's head over to SWL 20. I'll get you checked in on the SWL side, which I don't think I did. We've been jumping through some skip land tonight. It's a little quiet right now, but don't go away. Dwayne has checked in already. So, Harvey, take a transmission. We'll get your radio up there, too. Over.
Okay, just check me in number-wise. We'll let Cliff go. I just got home. Hey, I got home early. And listened to the net all the way home. So there we go. And I'm interested to hear what Cliff's radio is. And by the way, Cliff, I don't know what I'm hitting you with, but you're hitting me with a 3.
A 3?
You know I'm kidding. Okay, about a 25 over. Alrighty, I'm going to go get something to eat, but I'll listen for just a second or two. I'm starving. So see what you got. Turn it back to Dennis, then to you.
All right. Thank you, Harvey. Looking good. We've got you checked in. The Browning Golden Beagle R68 T68. Yeah, I think you were one of the unknown SWLs on our list here tonight. So good to know. You can kind of ride along with the Old Tube Radio Network. Harvey, you're sounding good. Go get some food. We've got plenty of stuff in the green room. Go stop by for dessert. All right, back to the control room. We will go and let's pick up SW135. Hello, Cliff. Over.
Okay. Oh, yeah. First off, Harvey wanted a radio check. Now, you'll find out in a second what radio this is, but on this radio, the meter goes up to 60, and you are flattening the needle all the way to the right. There's just there's no more signal to be had. I think this is just a really good receiver on this thing, because you and several other people are just blasting in here tonight. Back to you, Dennis.
All right. Well, Harvey's good. You're good. So tell us what receiver is connected to that meter. Over.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I probably should have done that. Well, if you recall on last week's episode of OTR Mysteries, I checked in the Browning Mark III, right? And that's in Laconia, New Hampshire. This radio comes from Winnisquam, New Hampshire, which is basically just down the road a bit. From Laconia, same part of the state, of New Hampshire. This is the Tram Titan 2A. That's Tram Titan number 2 Alpha. And let's see, it has 15 tubes and all 23 channels. Let's see, crystal controlled transmit, but VFO receive. Back to you.
Nice. Well, we checked in the D201 earlier from Unit 1 out of Southwest Washington. I've got a picture. Let me make sure it's correct, because when I first kick it in there, I'm thinking, well, maybe I got a Kenwood stereo. It's got the wood sides and the blacked out sort of front dial. It does have the transmit receive separate item, and it looks like there's some type of, I don't know what you would call it, a vinyl top on it. Over?
Yeah, what is that? Is it Tolex? It might be Tolex. It's got, kind of like the old Zenith Transoceanics. But yeah, it has kind of a wrinkly vinyl, or maybe even Naugahyde. I'm not sure. But it is a textured black, soft material. And it looks really cool. The one here is in pretty good shape, as is the rest of it. It cleans up very, very nicely with, like some Kiwi black boot polish. It really, smooths it out and makes it look nice. The microphone, incidentally, is, as originally came with these radios, an unamplified gray-based G-Stand D104. So back to you.
That is the microphone we're showing. Just a standard D104. Sounds good. It's very, it's got very punchy audio. Not a lot of low frequencies, but it certainly is loud. You need a kit, some type of a kit that goes with that has the furniture polish, some type of oil or something to rub it in the wood, and then not WD-40, but Armor All for the top, and then I don't know, Pledge for the front. Anyway, beautiful radio, Tram Titan 2A. Let me bring up some info about it, then we'll get back to your audio. We'll talk about, there's two knobs. So it's got the transmit and receive. So it looks like you got to spot yourself in, and Tram did that. 1971. So obviously this is before the Tram Diamond. There was a Tram, the Titan, the 2A. I think there was a 3A, but this is still a tube radio. And I'm going to ask you about the heat, because I don't see convection cooling on the top. I don't see vents on the top. 1971, the thing sold for about $500. It was right in that time when inflation's starting to happen. Prices are going up, not super ridiculous, but, considering what you got, sounds good. And is that thing as hot as a pistol right now? Over.
Oh, no. It runs pretty nice. Nice and cool and easy. There is ventilation, but no ventilation on the top, no ventilation on the sides, no ventilation in the front, of course. But there's plenty of ventilation in the back and underneath on the bottom. There's very large slots, and that way the nice cool air from beneath flows through the radio and out the back. And I put my hands on it right now. It's I'd say it's better than ambient temperature, but it doesn't get real hot. Back to you.
Nice. Well, I guess they did a good job of getting enough space. I know the D201s had some problems with, I guess, the transformers, things, some overheating, but maybe not so the Titan 2As. Let's see. What are their upgrades were added a wood cabinet, so that's from the Tram Titan, of course, which had the rack handles. They got rid of those. Some electrical updates. It says especially a bigger, better modulation final tube, 15 tubes, like you said, 15 diodes. Oh, and then there's that, it looks like the metal tube, the round metal tube, but it's actually the Collins mechanical filter on the front end. So your question is answered when you said, I bet this must have a really good receive. You've got that Collins filter working for you. Over.
Oh yeah, it's very similar to the Brownings. It's reasonably tight, but once you get things tuned in, it brings things up quite a bit. Yeah, like you were saying, this radio represents a big transition, and I'm wondering if anybody knows why. That's what I'm curious about. If anybody knows a lot about the tram history, of the company, this radio is very different. All the previous radios, were metal and very industrial, right up until the Tram Titan 2. But this is only the Titan 2A, and as you well know, it's a completely different animal. The earlier radios all had like Turner microphones issued with them, handheld or desktop type, like 254Cs and stuff like that. Turner mics, and then they started issuing from this one on. They started issuing the static D104s with the radios, and like you say, as you pointed out, the appearance of the radio is very 1970s, home stereo kind of look. And I'm just wondering why all the radical changes. But this radio represents that radical change. Back to you.
Well, 1971, so they're definitely keeping up with some imports coming in. Probably the solid state is starting to happen. Pierce Simpson and a lot of those are coming up with the radios of multiple knobs and clocks and multiple meters. I'm looking at the inside of the radio now. We got a nice clean end. The tubes are actually spread out. There's a lot of room in here. You can see the vents, the slots in the back. And then there's a couple of light bulbs in the front, but the tubes around. I'm looking to see if I can see the Collins mechanical filter. Oh, okay, there it is. It's probably in the front. It's probably one of those little cylindrical cans that we're showing off to the right side by the big transformer. So there is quite a bit of room in there. And we're looking at the top side, not where the tubes are. So nice stuff. So I'm thinking that's what it was. Obviously, CB is catching on. They build the radio that looks, the other one had rack handles, right? It should be on the bench. It should be in a rack. And then all of a sudden they think, this is kind of a family thing. Let's make it look like it should be in the living room. So I think that's what happened. They decided that if at $500, if they made it look like a piece of furniture you were supposed to put next to the RCA color console, they would make it there.
Yeah, it would fit right in. Seriously, it looks an awful lot like a Sherwood stereo. I happen to have an old Sherwood Quadraflex or something. I don't know, something like that. And this looks an awful lot like it, but it's actually way bigger. But yeah, I was just wondering why the switch between the Turner mics and the static mics too. Again, they switched an awful lot of things, changed everything, except like the layout. You're looking at the tube layout. That's like an awful lot of trams, and like you say, there's lots of room, so things run nice and cool. And I can't think of what else to say about it. Any other questions?
No, a couple of the SWLs listening in, talking about Tram versus Browning. They said the Trams definitely would have the advantage on the power output if you wanted to, actually check the RF coming out or modify it a bit that way. But they said the Brownings were easier modifiable for other things. So depending on what you want to do. But that is certainly a beautiful radio. And so maybe it was more XYL friendly or something that you could jump it in the living room. Sounds fine. It's nice and loud, and you've been mentioning all throughout the afternoon about how everybody's coming in good and coming in strong and making the S meter go up to 50, 60, or whatever. So that Collins, what is it, Richard? Yeah, he says has a high-end Collins mechanical filter in the IF! Exclamation point. So that's part of the good stuff going on for your $499.99. Radio number 2. The Tram Titan 2A. I think the other 3As or 4As might have been hybrid, but this is the all tube for sure. Nice one to have in a collection if you can find one. I don't see that many going up for sale, but sounds good. Back to you for transmission. Then we're going to head out to Sangertown. Looking good.
Okay. Also, I guess I forgot to mention this also does sideband. It's implicit, in the Mark III because it's the Mark III SSB, right? But this doesn't actually say it in the name. But this radio does have a selectable AM upper and lower sideband. But according to the manual, the actually transmit signal is what do they call it? Is a double something sideband.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning that. I forgot to mention that it has sideband and the transmit is double sideband. It's 1971, so remember the other double sideband set, the big double sideband set was the Regency Imperial and the Imperial 2. And I think those are a bit earlier, like 68, 69, 70. I may be wrong about that. So I'm a little surprised that they went with double sideband, unless it was sort of an afterthought, to stuff it in there. And it's like easy to shut your receive, lower and upper sideband, but maybe on a transmit thing, it's easier to suppress the carrier. Double sideband suppressed carrier, or in this case, really suppressed carrier, and do it that way. And sideband was just starting. Double sideband got a real frowned on because you took up that extra 3 kc of the upper side. This is when, channel 16, people would go to 16, but they started putting in VFOs and they were starting to slide down into the RC channel. So if you were that 6K wide double sideband guy, you were taking up extra space for the guys sliding down. So a lot of the new sidebanders didn't like the double sideband radios, and they were not in favor of that. But anyway, it's good. You pick where you want to go, and it sounds good right here. Another back to you for another transmission, and then we're going to pick up Radio 3. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, thanks. That's exactly what I was trying to think of. Yeah, suppressed carrier double sideband. I couldn't remember the suppressed carrier part. But yeah, that's what it says in the manual, that it's actually transmitting. But I think it actually is receiving single sideband from everything I was reading in there. It's nice. It works very, very well, and it sounds pretty good. Incidentally, the receive audio is also kind of trebly. So I wonder if that's related. I'm not sure. The transmit audio tube might be the same as the receive audio tube, although there's a lot of tubes in there. Okay, thanks for letting me check it in. I haven't checked it in a while, and it worked pretty well right off the shelf today, and that's a good thing. Thanks for letting me check it in. We'll catch you next week.
Indeed. And yeah, Regency had the double sideband suppressed carrier on AM where the Tram does not. Oh, one more question, and we'll thanks Sean for standing by. The Tram Diamond, the D201, actually had a tone control, not only for the receive but for the transmit. So in those various knobs that when I zoom in, I can't really see our pictures not that great. Is there a tone control, an adjustable tone control in the front of the radio, either for the receive or for the transmit? Over.
Negative. Not on this one. Interestingly enough, my Tram Titan, the original Titan, does have a tone control on it. This, I guess they needed room for all the other stuff. They've, got all the different meter functions on a front-mounted knob instead of being mounted in the rear like in the older ones. And of course you've got your fine-tune receive and your fine-tune transmit. That's why I think you'll find I'm reasonably right on frequency, because I was able, like the Mark III Browning, I'm able to tune the transmit a bit.
And that is a nice plus. No, you were right on. When we were talking earlier and there was the heterodyne below you, it seemed like it was, you can tell if you're way off, you get the coming in, but not so. Good deal. Radio number 2 from Winnisquam, I believe you said, Tram Titan 2A, 1971. So I don't know how long they put these out. I have a feeling this wasn't a really long production run on the 2A between everything else they were doing. So if you find one or you got one, it's probably a pretty rare item, and yours looks good. Well, I don't know if it looks good. It certainly sounds good. I bet it looks good, too. And thanks for bringing it by. Over.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good-looking radio. Thanks for letting me check it in. See you next week. See ya.
Hey, let's, Sanger, hang on. We've got Idaho in there. Go ahead, Dwayne, over.
recognize it.
There you go. What's the flavor of your Golden Eagle over?
Mark, SSB with the Golden Eagle D104.
All right, taking the DX when it can happen. I'm going to put you as radio number 4, the Mark III SSB D104, and that's what's happening. I mean, sometimes there's no signal on the S meter, but I hear your audio over.
Roger on that. Well, this is got from Ed, and I wanted to make sure it got put on the air so we got to hear it.
All right, he was out there listening earlier, so if he's not in, I'll let him know when I talked to him this week that you were showing it off from northern Idaho. Over. All right, good audio. Like I said, the S meter is not reading that much at times, but the audio is 100% coming through with no problem whatsoever. SWL 30. Up in northern Idaho, Radio 4 on the Mark III SSB D104. A radio we used to hear just about a mile away. Now it's about 701 miles away and sounding just as good. Thanks for that. The Jingle Singers are ready, but I'm going to put them on hold because we want to get out to Sanger Town. Hello, Sean, over.
Hey, hello, Dennis, and hello, Dwayne. It's sounding good out here in Sanger this evening. And, man, that guy that checked his tram in earlier sounded like he was sitting in my front yard. What a setup he had going there. Tonight, I would like to check in my Dimco satellite Magic Eye tube radio. And I do have the modulator back up and functioning. Hopefully everything's sounding good on your end. This is a 5-piece Dimco satellite. I have the speaker, transmitter, receiver, modulator, and Dimco bandolizer meter with has an antenna for a field strength meter so you can take it outside and see what your signal is. And I'm also on an amplified D104 desk mic.
Very nice. Let me make sure I have the right one. There's a couple of Demcos, and I always seem to bring up the wrong one. So Magic Eye tube we got, but is this the one with the black knobs and the silver front?
Yeah, it has black knobs and silvery metal. Cheap metal, I might add, because most all of them rust if they're exposed to any kind of moisture. The face of the Dimco satellite starts to pit and get rust on it. So I think it's the satellite CB1.
You are correct. That's where we're looking at the separate transmitter and receiver of the same size. The Demco modulator is the standard, the standalone box. I know they have some of them where it's built into the speaker, but this is one you could buy as a separate unit. I used to talk to some people back in my first CB days that would buy the Demco modulator, put the D104 and run it on their transistorized radio and add that 2-tube audio, the separate speaker, and this might even show the bandolizer. And whatever we're showing, it's the box. It's got the meter right in the top center and then some knobs and dials below that. But it sounds good audio, and I bet Dwayne is listening to you up in northern Idaho. Over.
Yeah, hopefully it's making a trip up there. This particular meter has crystal sockets for testing crystals. It has 4 knobs and then a giant meter on it, a little bit bigger than the one on the transmitter and receiver. Yeah, for a real nice radio that RV put together for me. Every piece is not as it came from the factory. And works really well. It's something that took him some time to put it all together, and once he brought it over, I've never had a problem with it, besides the other night, which that ended up being just a loose connection is all it was, so back on the air.
Don't you, it's like with automobiles, don't you love it when it's something easy? So it's like, we need to tighten this thing up, or this thing's rattling, we'll do that. CB1A, 1965. So find your favorite 65 automobile, maybe a GTO, and to put it in the back seat. CB7 is the Photofax, No, it says there's an operator manual. If you go to oldtuberadio.com, Demco Satellite CB1A instructions on a PDF. Good stuff. And yeah, this is not a radio that you can just sit down and flip a switch and you're ready to go. There is a little bit of finesse to make sure the transmitter and the receiver are talking to each other. Everything is warmed up. Does it have a tune and load on the transmitter? When I zoom in, I can't really see that. Do you actually have to tune up the transmitter over?
Yeah, it has plate tuning and antenna tuning. So you sit there and turn the knobs, get the most power out of it, and you are ready to go. But yeah, it can be confusing. Like earlier when I went to check in, I had turned all the knobs on, but I had neglected to plug in the modulator. So without the modulator plugged in, it would key, but I wouldn't get any audio. So that's why it took me a second there to get back to you.
Got it. Anyway, no, it sounds good now. It's been 100%. Looking good. And a couple of the SWLs have mentioned something that we've been talking about for 40 years, is the spelling of satellite. S-A-T-E-L... Where's that extra L? S-A-T-E-L-I-T-E. And then there's the S. It's kind of, the S is sort of off to the side, or off to the front, and then Adelaide. So if you weren't paying attention, you think, what's an 8 light? So whoever, they needed to go to Pierce Simpson, or somebody knew how to design a front panel of a radio and figure a new logo, but that's what they went with. So misspelled on purpose, maybe just to make it different. I don't know. We have never figured that one out in 40 years. But the radio itself sort of makes up for all of that. So back to you for a transmission. Demco modulator sound. It sounded good all the way around. Like I said, nice audio. And even if you were down, like Dwayne, he's on the Eagle and he's down in the noise, but I hear the audio. And it should be the same way for the satellite. Over.
It's one of my favorites. I have it right here all by itself with nothing stacked on top of it or around it. So quite the piece to have in your collection, the Demco Satellite. Thanks for the time this evening.
All right, and we're glad that you have it, at least somebody here locally has it in their collection. That's where everybody says this is, OTR has been going for 40 years, and this is why, because we have... our operators have great collections. They are not shy on putting out the radio real estate in multiple rooms or wherever they might be. This is not an inexpensive thing per se. It can get very expensive to be swapping out tubes and having things, finding things in yard sale and CB. So again, very... glad and gracious to our radio operator collectors here in the Central Valley of California that have kept this network, this Old Tube Radio network, on the airwaves since about 1986, 85, somewhere in there. I think it was the first month of 1986 where we jumped in with everybody that might have had a radio and jumped down on Channel 11 and said, let's get away from the crowd a little bit and jump on our radios and have a chat, and there it is. Somebody wanted a break. I think there was a station in there. Go ahead.
20.
And 20. Uh-oh. Have I got audio? Okay, I got audio. I couldn't hear myself there for a second. Anyway, go ahead, 20. Over.
Okay. Mystery radio. The only reason it's going to be a mystery radio is because the person that's going to get it doesn't want to know what it is. Okay? The person wanted a 40-channel tube radio. Basically, on the order of the T-Berries, the Robins, the Spitfires, etc. Wanted 40-channel AM tube radio. Well, I happened to come upon one. I saw that little static. It's the microphone. Anyway, I was able to get my hands on one. Had a few little problems, but they're fixed. have the radio sometime next week. Anyway, it's 40 channels, tube radio, and it's got a range expand, which is off. And now the range expand is on. So you can let me know what it does, Dennis.
All right, it's back. It's there. Big signal. Range expand definitely helps. I would question as to what you might be talking on for a microphone. It's either a crystal element or a broken element, but it has loud audio. There is no highs, no lows, and lots of mid-range, no waiting. It sounds like you are coming through a phone patch, but it's loud. Over.
There's that static from the mic. Okay. Range boost is off, and I backed off the mic.
No, you don't want to. You want the range boost on, and you definitely don't want to back off the mic. There is just absolutely no low frequency, no high frequency. It's all kind of mid-range. If you remember the song Winchester Cathedral, if you knew the lyrics, you could sing it right now. Over.
Okay. Anyway, range, now I'm closer to the mic. Range boost is on. He'll put a better mic on it.
Oh.
This is what I have. The head on the mic probably isn't the world's greatest. I could change it. But anyway, here it is. And he doesn't want to know what it is. He wants it as a surprise. So when I bring it to him, he'll be surprised.
That's good. We are not going to spill the beans, as it were. And you know what? Do not get that close to the microphone. You'll have to back off just a little bit. Not too much. Not like you did this other time, but somewhere a little less than that, because it distorts a little bit when it does that. But nice and loud. Let's see. I'm going to bring up, you know what? Transmit. I want to see where you are on the Orban meter. Go ahead.
I should be a tiny bit low.
Okay, I was checking the audio. I wanted to see where it was bringing up. If the meter was hearing that high frequency as audio gain, and it isn't, but it still sounds loud. Still sounds good. All right, Mystery Radio. I will put a question mark, and in future episodes of the Old Tube Radio Network, we'll probably reveal the mystery. Over.
There's that static. Okay. It's the microphone. I have to clean the contacts. Okay. Somebody in Madera just said awesome signal. No, wait. Not in Madera. I'm sorry. In Fresno. Local. Okay. That's good. He ought to key up, if he hasn't keyed up already, on whatever he's got. Say hello to Dennis. Just say hello to me. Okay. When the guy gets it, he'll put a better mic on it, and it'll sound a lot better. Anyway, this is pretty much, I do have a second mic I could try, so I might try it in a minute.
All right, and just one note, somebody mentioned it, and it's a good thought. The static, do you think that could be the relays just kind of trying to click in, or doesn't sound like that to you when you hear it?
When I grip the mic really good, no static. I think it's just the relays need to be cleaned.
Yeah, well, that's what we're thinking. And you got to be careful. Yeah, you cannot get up on that microphone. It flat tops or does something. It's hard to understand what you're saying. But other than that, it is got a signal, and it is loud. How about impedance? How about microphone impedance? I mean, it is a severe sound. I'm just wondering if we were way out of impedance between the mic and the radio. Over.
Could be. Check your foot switch. You drop down.
All right, sorry about that. Thanks. I had to do a couple of resets. You get the red light and it doesn't work. All right, anyway, we're good. You're good. The mystery radio is still a mystery, but it's working 100%. It hasn't failed yet. Over.
Okay, I stuck another mic on. What's this sound like?
Well, with the short transmissions, it's already much better. Over.
Okay. Range boost off. Audio. Probably needs a little more.
It needs a little bit more. Over.
Okay. There we go. That's range boost off. Another D104 amplified. I turned it up. And now the range boost. But then I'm also running the modulator. So maybe too much.
No, it doesn't sound like a modulator problem. It just sounds like you're way far away from the microphone. It's still, it's better, but it's still not good. Over.
Okay. I had a little closer to the mic.
Interesting. It's almost the same issue with the proximity, but it doesn't have the super pinched audio, but it's still, it's not bad. I'm copying 100%. It's just, it's missing. It's missing something, but it is there. So and changing the microphone did make a big difference. So it sounds like there is a microphonium that should be paired with that radio. Just haven't found it yet. Over.
Hey, Roger. He's got a couple of different mics, so he'll just try them. If he can't find one, I'll find one that'll probably work on it. Sound good. Okay, I'll let you go, and hopefully he heard me. He can send me a text or say, well, I don't know if he wants to give away who he is that's going to get it, or make that a surprise. So I'll leave that up to him. He can text me if he wants, and let me know how he thought it sounded. Okay, back to you, and I have one more.
Okay, and are you monitoring the audio? Because it almost sounds like there's a little bit of feedback going on, like you have a speaker open or something.
Well, I do have the Browning on above, and it might be feeding back very low level into it. So, yeah, it could be. Alrighty, I'll let you go.
All right, I just was curious where the ringing was coming from. I think, is that coming out of the radio? Like it's hearing it through the speaker, or there's too much audio turned up, which it's not squealing or feeding back. It's just on the verge. I think so. That's what it is. You got another speaker up there. So yeah, what is it? On the RF, we give you 99 out of 100. On the AF, we give you a 77 out of 100 because you're still 100% copyable. And Peter, listening in, says we're kind of coming in and out up there in Squamish, so we'll be listening for you guys. And then somebody says, does he have an external modulation meter or just a crystal detector coupled to a little audio amp? I think you have neither. But anyway, I don't know. The mystery radio remains a mystery. I've got it as radio number 5. I put a question mark. We'll find out more in future episodes. Over.
I think I heard somebody. Okay, I'll put this mic away. I might find another one before the show ends. We'll see. Okay, thank you, Dennis.
All right, indeed. And this is the Old Tube Radio Network. Real Radio is glowing in the dark. OldTubeRadio.net. The live stream up right now. Central California and the breaking station. Go ahead.
If I could check in my Tram Titan 2.
Tram Titan 2, sounding good, looking good. Back to you for radio number 6. Over.
Okay. Just trying to get it done here. Go ahead.
All right, a Tram Titan 2. That's the one we like with a nice wooden case and the Naga height or whatever it is. Over.
No. This is the old metal one with the handles and all that.
Oh, you're right. It's a 2A. See, I'm getting my Titans mixed up. So you went back a couple of years, so we could take that wood off of there. Over.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to leave it.
All right. Well, the S meter is failing me, but your audio is good, and I'll get a picture, and we need that. We'll get a picture of the Tram Titan 2 and see what the difference is. Over.
The setup's giving me a little bit of trouble tonight, but it's definitely suppressed carrier and it's doing what I need it to do, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, it sounds like a suppressed carrier. It's nice and loud. It reminds me of like the Regency Imperial. We get a shot of the Tram Titan 2. And you are not even on the S meter, but I'm hearing the audio, so you know that suppressed carrier is working well. Over.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do, so. Anyway, this is another one of Harvey's, Harvey's good finds for me, so.
All right, well, it's in and out. You were up to S9 that last time. You peaked at S9 and then went away. There it is. There's the lowly Tram Titan 2. Got to love the big S meter for those 60 dB over S9 reports. Over.
Yes, definitely. That meter does a lot of good. That's a fact, so. Yeah, I think we got her kind of ironed out there to where it's going to work for me now.
Yeah, big signal that time. You're up on the S meter and sounding good. Over.
You're doing the same up here.
All right, if you dare, it'll be on the replay on the video near the end side. I've got a picture of the Tram up in the box, so it's easy to find if you scroll through it, and I think you will be happy with how it sounds. Over.
Well, the fact that it actually decided to kind of cooperate here and let me do what I need to do, there's quite the thing. Sean sounded good up here tonight, Cliff sounded good, and Harvey, I'd say you got a good signal up here. As far as the mystery radio, though, I think you better do a little audio work before it leaves. Anyways, these gentlemen and ladies, good evening to everybody on the OTR and on the chat. No chat tonight from me because I'm playing radio.
All right, sounds good. Good to have some conditions tonight. You are it. You're the only one in right now coming through Skip. Radio number 6 on the Tram Titan 2. Thanks. All right, 73, Dwayne, sounding good. And go ahead, Harvey.
Yeah, how's this thing sound now?
That can't possibly be the same radio.
Why?
It sounds 1,000% better.
It helps when you put a decent head on the microphone. I pulled the head off the other mic and the other mic too and checked them, and they were barely working. The second mic I use on sideband, and the way I turn it up, people say, oh, it sounds just fine. Well, that's sideband. If I used it on AM, I'd probably sound kind of how I did. But this is a decent head on the D104.
Yeah, here, Dwayne, he says it's 100%. It's 1,000% better, and I'm still not convinced you're on the same radio.
Yes, I am. Well, I know how it is where I can switch a lot of radios in and out, but no, this is the same radio. I just took the head off the D104 that I use on the Beagle, and I put it on this mic, and there it is. And now the range boost is off, okay? This is the range boost off. How's it sound with the range boost off?
It still sounds good with the range boost off, not 100%, but it's variable, very copyable, sounds great. Go ahead and put the range boost on. Before, when you got up on the microphone, it was not good on the bad. You know, those other two microphones, get yourself a little Ziploc baggie and put them both in. I don't care if that one works on sideband. Put them both in there, and when you zip the baggie up, take your Sharpie and write Bravo Alpha Delta. Bravo Alpha Delta, and then stick it in a drawer. Go ahead.
Yeah, really. I use those on mics for testing, just to see if the radio's working, etc. And when you said this one sounded poorly, I thought, well, maybe I ought to check it. There's a range boost on. Yeah. Anyway, I just got a message on the phone, so I'm going to check it. Okay, turn it back to you. Show's getting close. Still got one more to do.
All right, 100% improvement, easily. Even when you get up on the microphone now, the radio starts, it starts getting that sound like, yeah, it wants to give you a little bit more audio. Maybe even like a, plate modulated thing. Just way, way better. This sounds, it's every bit up there with the trams we've been hearing tonight. Over.
Okie doke. I gotta answer these messages. I'll get back after a while.
Okay, I'll be right back. I think I just initiated some audio that I don't want, so I'll be right back. And it's amazing. It's so quiet. And Wayne was like jumping in there all by his lonesome on the audio. Interesting. Let's see if the jingle singers. We got to get them at least here once tonight.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are listening for radio's number 7.
Contact.
This is a contact frequency. Go ahead, over.
Hello, Dennis. 7-0, low power version, checking in late.
The low power version not doing too bad, and glad to have you along. I wasn't sure when we called your number. It was lots of skip going on. Right now it's a little bit spotty, but we have some conditions up and down the West Coast. So I hope the guys that are doing the VHF contest are getting some 6 meters tonight.
Yeah. I just turned the radio on, so I might go check some of that stuff out a little bit. But I've been getting the last few nights here. I don't know about down there, but a lot of noise. A lot of S3 to, I think it's almost 4 or 5 now. Just static stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Brandy, don't go away.
Or what, but it's not as quiet as it usually is.
No, and we were having the atmospheric conditions where you hear the radar sweeps and the strange noises going through. I don't hear them now, but about a half an hour ago, they were coming through. So that's usually an indicator that we are doing something. I'm going to bring up the DX map if I can grab it here. This is map number 1, and 99 is in there. I want Randy to take a look at this. If I can get the other, that's the map we're looking at right here. And this one shows for the MUF, there's still quite a bit of activity all throughout everywhere. If I bring up the other one here, which is the MUF, that's still pretty good. And it looks like it's running through, and I wanted to bring this up for 99. It looks like it's running through Arizona. Star is where we're at, but it's showing that we've got some conditions through Arizona. We've been talking to stations at Idaho tonight, to Dwayne up in Idaho. So, be listening in, and some stations up near British Columbia said they're listening as well. I'm not sure how updated this map is, but there are definitely some conditions going on. Even if you're just up the hills and over the woods, over.
Roger. All right, we'll take a look at that in a bit there, Dennis. And thanks again, 7-0.
Low Power doing the job. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Hello to X or out there in Reading, up there in near the lakes and Mount Shasta and all that good stuff. Maybe you can point the beam and beacon off of something there. And let me get Randy checked in. Let me go back to the control room here. What does I want? I want that one right there, and we'll get 99 in as well. But Randy, we heard a couple of stations from Arizona, but most of the skip tonight has been from a little bit farther north. But we have had conditions coming in, and we are listening for radio number 7. Right there, if you heard that, did you hear that whoosh? That noise is an indication that we do have some atmospheric items going on. Right there, whatever that is. I wish I had the scope to watch that sweep go through. And just checking the station here. Looks good. I haven't blown anything up yet. We'll sign off shortly. Maybe some stations want to get in and do some skip talking, because I have a feeling the band's going to be when we hear noises like that, the band's going to be open for a while. Everybody get ready for their Father's Day tomorrow. Put on those new cufflinks and head out to eat somewhere. And the jingle singers said,
You're tuned to
OTR, Channel 11,
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
Now, that sounds modern. Over.
Uh-oh. How am I feeding back? Oh! My mic tester was on. Okay. Oh, the Browning Golden Beagle R68T68 from Browning Lavatories.
And I think I checked you in when you first came in at 9:05. I think that's the radio you were on. I got it checked in. Okay, the mic tester. Somebody asked about your mic tester. What is that? What is the mic tester? Over.
Yeah, I gotta make an adjustment. Okay, that's better. It's a little box that's got mic plugs on it. You can buy them on eBay, $60, $70 average or something like that. You plug your mic in there, test your mic. It's marked with several different manufacturers, radio manufacturers. So hopefully you have, a mic that plugs in there. What I've done is I've taken the Cobra 4-pin plug. I've made a mic cord that plugs into it that's got alligator clips on the end of the cable, and I clip it to mic elements or mic plugs will generally work in the tester itself, but I've done that so I could do quick testing of stuff. And I tested that head on the mic tester, and I go, oh man, that's barely working. And the tone was really crappy too.
All right. Well, I'll let you say that. You didn't hear from me. All right. That might have been where we were hearing the feedback from. So, okay, I think I got your Browning checked in already, sounding good and loud. We're still getting the radar sweeps, but I don't hear any stations coming in because it's late from wherever. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out. So if anybody on channel here on frequency wants to see what's going on with the skip or do that, we'll have a clear channel. Maybe some of the stations here in Fresno will stay on if anybody's listening on the net wants to try. I was hoping we would hear BC, the Squamish boys coming in, but the conditions, I'm going to go one more time on the DX map, and I'm going to refresh it and see if it comes up. So okay, it is a little bit different. Let me bring it up here. It's a little bit different. Still open. Let me bring it up to see what it's showing here. CW level. So yeah, it's still a little weak. But moving all around. I mean, look at that. We could have stuff coming in from New York, Ohio. You never know. So it could be good. So I'll back out of here, see if anybody else wants to check in the radio, and we'll see what's going on.
Little info. I still have the 2 Browning Golden Eagle Mark II stations, just the transmitter and the receiver, not the extra stuff, not the train stuff, but just the transmitter and receiver. I've got 2 of them for sale. The Golden Eagle R68 T68 with the banana mic should be at its new place maybe sometime next week.
Sounds good. I think JT was on tonight. It said, although I didn't see it on, I'll have to go back and look. I think it said he was on the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. That was in the title. But I don't know if that's the radio that he was working on tonight. Somebody asked a question. What was the URL for the DX map? I'm just going to read it off. It is hf.dx.view. So it's hf.dxview.org, and that'll take you there. And you may have to slog your way through to get into whatever you want, but that should get you in. And we're looking at the maximum usable frequency. And I have the 10 meters, the 28 megahertz boxed checked, although it says all. So I'm not sure what we're seeing there, because it does go up to 50 or 6 meters as well. So that's what's going on. All right, the Jingle Singers, did they do their thing already? I think they did, but here we go again. Instant replay.
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
All right. Well, I do hear some skip in there, so let me jump out of here. Let me get the control room back. I think that's it. And for shortwave listeners tonight, we are in week 7. So we got one more week on this roster before we do the 00. And Robert and Teresa are doing a good job through this 8 weeks. We had 17 on check-ins on page 1, 18 on page 2, 20 on page 3, and 21 on page 4. That makes a total of 76, I believe. And now this has got to be a first. The most heard radio, the most heard manufacturer tonight was the Tram. And what put it over the top, what put Tram over the top was the DX stations. Two of the stations checking on trams tonight were not from the local area. So as far as I can remember, I don't think we've ever had an evening where the station's checking in 150 miles away, which is okay now. Read your FCC rules. You can do that. Put the radios over the top. But the Tram's number one heard radio tonight. Started off with the Browning Golden Beagle, R68, T68. Harvey just in time, coming in for the tube radios tonight. Radio number 2, the Tram Titan 2A. So, Cliff, you got it. Started off with the Tram tonight, so locally. Sounding good. The Tram with the wood sides and the Nagai top. Radio number 3, the Demco Satellite CB1, or the 1A. Yeah, SATELITE from Demco. All 5 pieces. Radio, or transmitter, receiver, speaker, Demco modulator, and I'll call it you had a name for it, which I can't remember, but the tester box, the SWR bridge, which it wasn't, part of that. So thanks, Sean, for that and the Demco. Mark II SSB with the D104 from Dwayne. Could have had some Brownings tonight. Sounding good. Thanks, Dwayne, for that coming in. Harvey on the west side on the mystery radio. Were there to be a couple other mystery radios? It might have been the question marks for the number one radio tonight. And the Tram Titan 2, Dwayne, you heard right at the end of the net coming in. And also tonight, Unit 1, Southwest Washington on the Tram D201. So there was actually 1, 2, 3. 3 trams tonight, thanks to Unit 1. Marty, thanks, Marty, out there in Southwest Washington. Yeah, I know. You come back years later and OTR is still there on a Saturday evening. We've been doing it for almost 40 years, thanks to our shortwave listeners and our tube radio operators. 73, everybody. We will catch you next time. Good DX. Cycle 25 has taken some wacky turns here. 40 meters has been super dead, and then it'll come up, and you come here to 11 meters, and we're getting some E-skip. So whether that's a 25 thing or not, I don't know. Good night, and we'll catch you all later. The frequency is open if anyone wants to try some DX. Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark.
Good show, Dennis.
I heard you. Sounded okay. Yeah, interesting tonight.
Yes, it was.
This is KO6JAS.
All right, this is Kilowatt Bravo 6, Golf Foxtrot Delta. I'm here in central Fresno, and I can hear you on my very low to the ground antenna. Over.
I can hear you pretty nice, too. My antenna is not that high either, but is about 10-15 feet up. But, yeah, you're coming in loud and clear. Nice.
All right, you're full quieting on the signal. Audio is good, and I've got KO6, but I missed the last part of your call. Over.
This is Kilo Oscar 6 Juliet Alpha Sierra. And can you please repeat yours as well?
Will do. All right, good to make your acquaintance here. I just happen to have the 2-meter radio on my headphones here. And I heard you come through. So my call again is Kilowatt Bravo 6 Golf Fox Delta. Over.
All right, so it's KB6GFD, correct?
Yeah, GFD, Greasy Fried Donuts. Over.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I was just scanning the frequencies for the VHF contest. I don't have a big antenna, but I was just scanning to see if somebody I can hear. And I did make a contact with N6MI, November 6th, Mike, Italy, and he was out of Fraser Mountain in down south. Yeah, so they were about 8,000 feet. testing from there, and I was able to make a contact from here, 130 miles. So I was very, very amused.
Yeah, that's probably K6MI, John. He is actually from Fresno. I'm not sure where you're from or where you're transmitting from at the moment. I'm in Fresno. I'm assuming you are too because of your good signal. So John and the gang drive here from the Central Valley in Fresno, go up to the Tehachapi, Fraser area up in the hill, and they got a great shot to look down here to the Central Valley. They can look out to Santa Barbara. They can look down to Los Angeles. They always like to go up there during the contest. Over.
It was not K6MI.
Oh, it was N6MI. All right.
He was at Fraser. John was at Tehachapi.
Yeah, thanks, because I know Larry said he was at Tehachapi, but I'm not familiar with the N6MI, so another MI, but the Fraser is always a good hub.
Yeah, N was at Fraser and K was at Tehachapi.
And so, JOS, you talked to the station in Fraser, right?
Yes, I talked to this guy, M6MI, and I looked him up, and he's got a pretty crazy setup. Yeah, he's got a van with a 60-foot mast on it. He's pretty popular on YouTube, so he's a big contester, I think. So it was pretty interesting, yeah. That was my first ever long-distance simplex contact, and I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, when it comes to this, line of sight and altitude is a good thing, and then beaconing across the valley, so your radio is good. Anyway, good to make your acquaintance. My name is Dennis, like Dennis the Menace. I didn't catch your name, but I was surprised that we didn't have more VHF activity on this frequency tonight. I probably missed it all, and I have a feeling the bands were pretty good. The 6 meters might have been open as well. So over to you, and then I will sign out. Thank you, Ron, for the update, KO6JOS. And it looks like you are possibly a new ham, so welcome to the two-way radio, and I hope to hear more from you, KB6GFD.
All right, yeah, thank you. And I am relatively new ham, and my call sign I'm going to correct you just one time. It's Kilo Oscar 6 Juliet Alpha Sugar. So it's JAS. And yeah, it's been fun so far. I'm happy to have made a contact with you as well. And it's always something new to learn about, and it is definitely looks like a fun hobby now.
All right, indeed, and thanks for the correction. I have made that correction, and you got a good signal here into Fresno, so I'm sure I'll be able to hear you. A group of us do occasionally hang out here on 146550, so give us a call when you hear us. Have a great afternoon or evening, and a good Father's Day tomorrow, KB6GFD.
Problem, same to you, and hopefully you'll have a good one tomorrow, Sunday. Yeah, the only one person I have listened on this frequency is the K6VLF, and I have talked to him a couple of times, so I was going to tell him that I made a contact. He was suggesting some frequencies earlier today. I was asking him in the afternoon, but that's what it is. All right, clear on your final. That's it.
All right, I talked to him a little bit earlier. I'm surprised he doesn't have the microphone hooked up here on this frequency, but he might be napping. I think we woke him up from a nap earlier. All right, it's 73, and good evening to the shortwave listeners, or maybe they're long-wave listeners on this band. You never know. KB6GFD Fresno. There you go. The DX is fading fast, it looks like, but that doesn't mean it won't come back. There you go, that little slice. SSB level, that's us. So that's you got to have more than a couple of milliwatts level. Getting a little smaller. See what happens. Keep listening. Here it's pretty quiet here on Channel 11. I'm going to tune down to Channel 6.
So I got
There's the bowl.
manual frequency counter sitting right
Oh, that's
next
709.
That takes the frequency right out of the air so I can watch what it is.
That's 709. He normally checks in with us. Oh, and it's Motormouth Mall. Can you believe that? I can hear John. I shouldn't be able to hear John at all. He's over a big hill. It sounds like John.
Somehow we need to tighten up the frequency knobs so that when the box shakes from the relays clicking down, it don't move.
I'm not sure. Maybe that isn't John.
Where'd you go? Oh, there's 2020. Happy Pappy Day 2020. Got any grip?
Hey, 709. What happened to 709?
I barely heard somebody.
Yeah, 709 on low radio. I'm not even...
Sounds like Dennis.
Yeah, we just came down from 11 to say hello radio.
Well, hello right back there, QTR. Dennis, sound real good up here right about now.
Yeah, we just came down to see where the skip was, over.
Roger that. It's north-south right about now. There was some East Coast stuff, Dennis, but it kind of burned out in my neighborhood. So, but I'm talking down to California, you, a little bit of Arizona.
All right, sounds good. I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for picking me up, and I'm back to 11. We just signed off. Over.
Roger that. I should have been on there, but I forgot. I've been busy running my gums up here.
All right, well, that's why we came down here to put you on the video gate. Over.
Hey, Witch Doctor, I'm talking to Dennis, QTR, a Channel 11 program. He's out there on the key right now.
Yeah, I got 66. He's on the flat side, so he's hard to hear, but I'll get 66 checked in too. Over.
Yeah, Witch Doctor, the show's over. He just come down to see where all the skip went.
All right, let 66 know he's checked in. Over.
WL 66. Tell him I'm checking in late.
Yeah, I hear the Witch Doctor 66. Over.
Hey, he heard you, Witch Doctor. He can hear you.
Well, hold there, Dennis. I can't hear you. I'm the beam looking north. 709 told me you could hear me.
All right, 709, thanks. I heard Witch Doctor. You guys go back to your conversation. I'll get you both checked in. I'm back to 11. Over.
Roger that. Thanks for the check-in.
Now that's different. So that's, I thought it was Motormouth Mall. That is Witch Doctor. He's actually here in Fresno, but he's running a very big beam and he's on the flat side. So that's how much attenuation.
Right now, but I'm using the flat side.
That's how much attenuation you get. Let me go back to 11. That's how much attenuation you get locally between horizontal and vertical. Almost make it so you can't hear it. Back to 11, which is pretty quiet. So the band is still in. All right, good night, everybody. This is how many Witch Doctors might there be? Yeah, they're going to try and make me take back all the bad things I said about Cycle 25 a couple of weeks ago. Hey, Foxman, I'm not quite on the level you are with the skip. I mean, tonight I had good luck of throwing the hook out and getting a station on the first bite, but I still can't do it as good as you can. Anyway, I'll see you on the videos. We'll catch you next week. I may be late. We got a radio station thing going on until about 6 p.m., so I'm going to skedaddle out of there next week and try and get everything set up for the old Tube Radio Network. We'll see how we do. Good night.